We're going to talk about the Briscoes today. Jay and Mark Briscoe from somewhere in Delaware. I can't remember what the name of it is. Sandy Fort, something like that.
The middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
Delaware.
bumfuck nowhere.
I honestly...
Looked like they should... Never mind, Fight Club.
Okay.
I got a pretty good story about Delaware, actually. I like
You
that
been
place.
to Delaware?
Yeah, I got lost in Delaware.
It's a tiny state.
I was drunk as fuck. A lot of tequila, and it was like 4 years ago.
Were you like in a car or were you wandering
I
Delaware?
was in a car, and by the end of the night, I was leaving Dewey Beach, and I was supposed to throw up literally right beside the car.
You were supposed to throw
I was
up?
supposed to throw up. I was scheduled to throw up right outside of the car.
Penciled it in.
So instead of like throwing up right outside the car because I didn't want to mess up the car, I run across this freeway. And this is at 3 o'clock in the morning. No one's on the road. I run across the freeway into like this new development of houses behind this fucking shack, and I just fucking yak my brains out, and I end up falling asleep on a bench like right beside the shed.
Welcome to $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast. I am your host, Aaron Varnum. Joining me today, as always, Cookie. Yee!
Whoa.
I don't know.
All right, so in my monitor, it just blew out both of my eardrums. Tolbert.
Hey.
And Big Mike.
Yes, a little more reserved this week. No golf on prior.
Big Mike, there is a bottle of Jägermeister and a bottle of whiskey in my freezer if you'd like to start early.
Both of those sound terrible on a Saturday morning.
I feel that it would be good.
No,
You don't think so?
not today.
Cookie, are
also,
you going to go get it? Cookie's about to go get it. Go.
Well, Cookie's about to go on a 2-day bender in Charlotte for her birthday, so...
Cookie, it is in the freezer. Get you some Jägermeister.
It's a finely aged bottle of Jägermeister.
Oh God, no! It would be over a year at this point.
Yeah, Davenport pulled it out the one time.
Yeah, and Mom, there's a video of my mother drinking straight from that bottle. So there you go. Oh, Cookie is taking a sip of the Jägermeister. Cookie's making a face.
No thanks.
All right, so today on $2 Steak, we are going to be talking about siblings.
Yeah.
Siblings in professional wrestling. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But first off, how's your week been, boys?
Hectic.
Hectic. Why
Busy.
hectic?
Just in the middle of school, getting back to the hospital and our outpatient clinics, getting back to full time. So it's managing all of that and 2 kids and a podcast, a moderately unsuccessful podcast. It really just weighs on your creative skills and
I don't know what you mean by that. I feel that we are very successful in what we do.
In what we're trying to, we're achieving our 1-year plan, our goals, slowly and steadily. But
I don't think we went into this with a plan.
I don't think we thought we'd get to 60.
Here we
I can
are.
tell you that.
60
I
episodes.
guarantee you we did not. Because when I thought about it, I'm like, oh, we could do it like once every 2 weeks. And like, but consistently we have been
Putting out content every
putting
Sunday.
out content every Tuesday. What the Sunday?
Well, Tuesday. Sorry, you know.
Yeah,
what I meant.
we've been we're recording today on Saturday, which actually I think is what threw me off, because normally Saturday is my time to decompress. Sunday I come up with my creative outlook and my gimmick, and so I'm running a little on empty at this point, boys.
Oh well,
Running
get you some.
Get you some
Put
of
on
that
some
Jaeger.
competitive golf, and I will just ride that train.
Jesus Christ, guys! I feel that last week Mike was the most hype he's been on the entire podcast.
Dude, I cut a
60
wicked
episodes.
paraphrased promo.
Paraphrased promo.
Yeah, I was paraphrasing what they were talking about. I was yelling.
I felt the
I
energy
distinctly
last week.
remember you laughing and Tolbert crying, and then I just had to lock eyes with Cookie because I needed to yell at somebody.
And Cookie's like the
I was just like, oh, okay.
dog that knows that it's gonna get slapped for doing the wrong thing.
I'm just, please don't.
So yeah, I feel that last week was a very good episode of our podcast, and I feel that we were able to get what we needed to get done. We talked. It was funny. It was one of our funnier episodes we've ever had.
I thought so.
I'm so proud of the match picking. I have listened to Tolbert's segment of the Freddy Krueger thing multiple times this week.
Thank you.
Just because every little thing of that segment made me laugh. Like, I don't know why it made me laugh so much. Just maybe the Jerry Lawler comments, like the comments about Freddy Krueger's past and things like that. It ended up being a very funny segment. I ended up really enjoying that. Now, Cookie,
Yes.
You are leaving a little bit early this afternoon. You're going to be heading to a big city. You're going to be drinking tonight.
Yes. Yeah, I've been drinking all week long. I've had one Jonathan Diaz at my house.
Oh,
who's a former old boy.
Oh, Diaz!
Yeah, so he's been here since Wednesday, and we've been killing cases left to right. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like, it's just been back to back.
Did Diaz talk shit when you're like, I got to go record the podcast?
Oh, yeah. Of course. He's like, who the fuck listens to that podcast?
I distinctly remember him telling us how he listened to one.
Yeah.
He definitely, he does, but he likes to, just kick me when I'm
Fuck
down.
you, Diaz. We love you, but we hate you.
Yeah, I know.
We're shooting.
God damn right.
So we were talking on the group chat this week, and somebody threw their back out. Can you explain to me how you throw your back out at age 30? What are you, age 35 now?
I just turned 35.
That's
I'm a
right.
fresh 35.
Straight out the womb, 35 years ago.
May's not even over yet. I've only turned 35.
Yeah, so we get a text in our group chat last night, and it was, hey guys, I think I threw my back out. Can you explain how one throws I would like to say, I wouldn't say that we're at the peak of our physical prowess. I'd like to think that there is,
Well, there's been, in these difficult times, there hasn't been a lot of physical activity. But I was bending over to put a bag of ice in the freezer for my tequila cocktails. And yeah, threw my back out. As soon as I did, my wife goes, see, told you need to start taking care of yourself. Stop drinking so much damn tequila.
In a fit of rage, did you go on a rant about how you need to buy a new fridge that has an ice maker?
Do you not have an ice maker in your fridge?
I do. And we used all the ice in the cooler for someone to go to the beach. I don't know. There wasn't any ice, and I knew it when I was running in.
Mind you, Tolbert lives an eighth of a mile from my house. I am a physical therapist, and he texts the group about alternative medicine.
I was one of them shrimp oxys.
Shroxy.
But yes, I'm going to Mike's after this.
To get ice?
I have an appointment.
Or to get physical therapy?
I'm going to fucking crack the shit out of
Oh,
this
he's
guy.
gonna fuck him up.
And then Tolbert's not going to be able to walk, not be able to walk.
That's never
for-
happened.
Oh, well, the first time for everything. This week, Tolbert and I went fishing on Memorial Day. We had a nice
I forgot
little
about that
Memorial
almost.
Day.
Nice.
We went out to the Fort Fisher and
Yeah, it was more
threw a
of
line.
I'd say more of a just kind of relaxing, getting our feet wet, enjoying the weather more than it was actual fishing, because it was a good time, though. We had good people watching on the south end of Fort Fisher.
It's always good people
Everyone
watching.
bank fishing. There was a ton of people bank fishing. A couple people smoking the herb. Wasn't me.
Yeah, we were walking by these people, and they're just like
Chief
legitimately
and a blunt, dude.
And I'm like, why don't you ask him? He's like, I don't think the COVID and in the time of COVID,
He doesn't think they've been socially distancing appropriately.
I can tell that they weren't socially distancing. So it was definitely not that. So
Tolbert, if it was 4 months ago, would you have taken it?
Probably not.
we had the guy, the not so smart guy from the Water Boy, tell us that he caught a crab.
All right. So we it's crowded around the beach. There's a bunch of families and stuff, and people smoking blunts. And so we're like, hey, let's move down here. Let's see some structure. Let's go try to catch some fish over there. Well, we go around the point, and there's these guys hanging out, some good old boys, and we give each other a nod. And we go out of their way, and we're fishing, and we see them wandering around in the marsh. And mind you, we haven't made too much of an exchange to get to know these guys.
When you say wandering around in the marsh, it was like a Jurassic Park movie where like the marsh is so high up, right? And you can't see what's going on, and there's a velociraptor going in, and you just see like the marsh moving a little bit.
And he comes out and he goes, "Hey guys, I caught a blue crab. You want them?"
We're like, this guy is maybe not the brightest, but then I look at Tolbert and make eye contact, and I say, he definitely watches wrestling. Like this guy is definitely thinks that it's a shoot,
Yeah, but he was really excited about that crab. But a good day out. We got ice cream afterwards.
We did. We got soft serve.
Riding with Aaron and my wife Katie in the car. It's like I was like the dad driving my kids around, going to the beach.
Oh, God.
We had to stop and get lunch, and then
Oh, don't act like you were not about it.
I was all about it. But it's still from the back. It's like, we want ice cream.
There's always room for ice cream.
There is.
There's always room for soft serve, especially.
With how much ice cream Aaron eats, I'm surprised you've lost this much weight.
I'm gaining it back.
Okay.
I'm slowly gaining it back. It's the quarantine has not been going. I believe by month 3, it started like the upturn. So like I've gained like
Your body's getting back to normal.
Yeah, back to normal. Not quite, the weight that I was at, but still, I'm thinking I've probably gained 5 pounds.
That was some
back.
good ice cream, though.
It was good ice cream. You know what? Next time I'm gonna go back to the vanilla and chocolate. I did not like the peach as much as the vanilla or chocolate.
Hey guys, this is a wrestling podcast. Nobody gives a shit about your.
All right, let's talk
it's
about
not $2 ice cream.
It was $2 ice cream. So let's talk about it. This week, we're talking about siblings in professional wrestling. It has been a thing ever since like wrestling began. You see your brother. Your brother's out there training to become a wrestler. He's getting some success, and you're like, you know what? Maybe I think that I could do that. Or you guys grow up together. You're watching WWF every morning, and you guys are just practicing on each other every single morning. You're practicing these moves. Wrestling becomes a family affair at that point. You're going to the same events together, and you're seeing like dynasties, like the Hart family. Mike gets to talk about the Hart family. Tolbert gets to talk about the Hardy Boy. And then Cookie gets to talk about
the hillbillies from Delaware, a.k.a. them boys, the Briscoe brothers.
The Briscoe brothers. Oh, what do you guys know about like brothers in professional wrestling? What kind of thing do you think it inspires a brother and another brother, or maybe two sisters like Io Shirai and her sister in Japan? What inspires people to
like
follow
you said,
footsteps?
Watching, first off, I have a brother we're pretty close in age. Watching every weekend or every week, and like you said, emulating those moves and just growing up, going to shows, growing up in that culture. And, like you said, you practice on each other and you're like, hey, we could do this, man. Let's do it. But also, you see those brother versus brother storylines, and they're classic stories. Everyone loves that rival. But also as brothers, oftentimes you're fans, of the opposite. So it's just cool, man. It's just great.
It's good to be able to see like families, there is not an easier story to tell than two brothers fighting each other.
Exactly.
It's one of the oldest stories in the book. It's a story that you see in the Bible, in the Quran, all over the place. One of the easiest story to tell is a rivalry, sibling rivalry.
And my brother and I, we used to wrestle all the time, and we pretended like we were the freaking Hardy Boys out there, outside in the backyard.
What's going on? Is there something?
Who's that?
Somebody trying to break in your house?
Is somebody trying to break into my house? Hold on. Is somebody actually walking into the back door?
You never know in Sunset Park, man. You got to be careful.
What is going on? Oh, no! God. What is going on?
You piece of shit, you deadbolted the back door.
Oh, no.
What the fuck kind of rib is that? You deadbolted the back door? What kind of the ribs on
Speaking-
You know how damn hard it is to sneak in with prickly bushes?
Speaking of brothers.
I duty myself down the side of my shit.
Wait. So, speaking of brothers, we have the brothers here, the Dawson brothers. Folks, I don't know what's going on here. They just broke into our...
Coffee and Corona, bitch.
Hey, first of all, Aaron, the fucking jig is up. We didn't break in. You fucking deadbolted the back door.
I think Mike actually locked the door behind me.
Okay?
No, I didn't.
This was supposed to be a setup, and we were supposed to bust in the back door, but you ribbed us, and I busted my knuckle and shit. What the fuck?
All in my shit.
I Call of Duty'd my way down the side of your damn bushes.
Corner case.
I mean, fucking up my Jordans. The first time I've worn them in 2 months.
Why would you wear the good shoes?
Because I said fucking out of quarantine, man. What
Did
the
you
fuck
kick the feral cat?
Yeah, punted that bitch literally a block down the street. Sorry, PETA, but that motherfucker's crazy.
You can't have a brother episode without your guys' favorite fucking pair of brothers.
Yeah, Aaron, what the fuck? Surprise, guys. Surprise, dudes.
I'm surprised. Yeah, so how the fuck are you going to do a brother episode and not fucking,
I don't know. Like, I didn't even think about the Dawsons at all, like, in this conversation. And I feel bad because Those are the ones that I see the most. What is going on here?
Yeah, what is going on here? We don't get the fucking booking whenever you do a brother episode. I mean, we're damn twins,
You're
Aaron.
booked. You're booked.
Yeah, of course we're booked. Well,
Since we're booked, damn it, I got a really good brother story for this episode.
Yeah, what is it?
You know, it was a Seagrove or something. We had a glorious tag team match.
Oh yeah, I
as
remember that.
Brothers,
Yeah,
twin brothers.
Twin brothers.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, you want to know who it was against, guys?
It was against Mr. Number One, George South, and the most glorious babyface in pro wrestling, Charlie Dreamer.
Damn it.
I've never seen this match.
Oh,
in my
you
life.
haven't? Oh,
No.
okay, guys.
You guys actually,
let me tell you, there's.
I found an illegal download of it earlier before you got here.
An
actually.
illegal
Oh shit!
download?
Yeah.
Well, can you send it to me? Shit, Aaron. Look, he's doing better business.
I don't know what's going on. Hey, hold on real quick. I'm getting a phone call. Oh, so they're here? Okay, so the towing company is actually here.
Talk about the blood feuds.
Are you? No, he's towing our fucking car, Dave.
What the fuck?
He's towing our fucking car.
Wrinkly fucking yes.
Well, that just happened. That was a
was
segment.
It's a little scary.
I'm looking out the blinds right now, man. I'm scared. I'm a little nervous, man.
Cookie. This
Cookie's
is
on edge. He hears somebody knocking on the
someone
door,
just
beating down the
someone
door.
just broke in the house. I almost ran out of the house. I want y'all to know
Have
that.
you seen America? Have you watched CNN? This whole country's on edge right now.
Exactly.
All right,
God
so
damn it.
those were two brothers in professional
Yeah.
wrestling, and like the Dawson brothers. We've talked about them a lot.
Aaron,
What?
I think they're coming back.
What are you talking?
They shook hands with the tow truck driver. Now I think they're coming back.
They shook hands.
They're letting the car down, Aaron.
What?
They're letting the fucking car down.
What do you want me to do, Aaron? What do you want me to do?
You didn't lock the fucking door. Why would you not lock the door?
Aaron, what the fuck was that? Huh? What in the fuckity fuck was that? What? I mean, did you really think that was gonna work?
I forgot that you were on Lizard Lick Towing.
Yeah, I was on the last season, dog. I know people in the repo biz, dog. You ain't getting me, dog. I got connections, dog. Okay, cousin Johnny.
Cousin Johnny?
Yeah, that's my homeboy, dog. We went to New York together. We had some fun in Times Square, dog. I'll tell you that much.
What?
What?
Tits.
What?
What?
For tits, man.
Yeah, son.
Tits?
Tips for tits, son.
All right, so we're talking about brothers in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, and you know what? You didn't fucking call us. And then you tried to damn call the tow truck. You see how they do us, Cookie? I feel like fucking you and Tolbert right now. I feel like me.
Can I let him go?
I feel like, yeah, you can let him go, Dave. Let him go. No, I feel like we're fucking Tolbert and Cookie right now.
What do you mean?
Because you and fucking Mike always pick on him about something. Fucking him, oh, you're not fucking doing social media. And Cookie, fucking, that step on the scale. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. They bring a fucking distinct perspective to this damn podcast, and it needs to be recognized. And the fact that you didn't recognize that you're doing a fucking brother podcast, and you just happen to know a set of twins that live 10 minutes away that fucking have been on this bitch, and you didn't fucking call us, Aaron. So fuck.
I lost your number. Wait.
Oh, you lost my number?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
You, just like you lost the rest of your fucking goatee with that little molestache you got on? Yeah. I'm going to start calling you molestache. You remember molestache?
SDA.
Remember molestache, Dave? Yeah.
Oh, well,
Sorry. So look, we're fucking here.
All right.
And you're going to fucking talk to us. What do you want to talk about, Aaron?
tell
I'm
me.
going to sit right here, Cookie. Fuck.
Tell me about brothers in wrestling, I guess. Jesus Christ.
Okay, what the fuck
Brothers
do
in
you...
wrestling where we're brothers.
What the fuck do you want to know?
Wrestlers.
How did you guys... I don't even know now, Zane.
Okay, I'm going to take over.
Listen,
All right, I'm going to take over.
When a man loves a woman,
Okay, hold on.
they want to show.
No. Okay.
He's not talking about that.
So hold on. Everybody else here got a chance to fucking host. Well, damn it, we're taking ours. We're hosting the brother episode, and we're so fucking. I'm gonna ask myself the questions. Hey, Dave, I'll talk to you.
Yeah, Zane.
Hey, welcome to $2 fucking steak, everybody. It's your host, the Diggity Damn Dawson brothers. I'm here with Tiggity Tolbert and motherfucking Kiggity Cookie. Big Mike on the ones and motherfucking twos.
Miggity, Mike.
And Miggity Molestache over there with his fucking beats on. Dave, let me ask you.
Yeah.
How has it been that you have been in the wrestling business with a member of your family and been on the same team with them? Tell me.
It's pretty fucking awesome, man.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to click with another person because I've been a part of other tag teams because you've turned on me, spit in my face.
Hey man, look, we're not.
I've seen some of those.
We're not gonna bring that up, man. Look.
Kick me in the unmentioned.
Hey man, this is performance art.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've had to.
I'm using the performance art excuse like
Jim Cornette.
like other guys do. You know what I mean?
I've had to, my share of other tag teams that I've won tournaments with, by the way, without you, Zane. But,
fuck, man?
it's hard to click with somebody else when you got the natural chemistry with, like, your brother.
Even when you have those moments. I saw him break your arm one time.
All right, man. Look, sometimes it happens. You should have seen the shit when we were 10 years old in Fayetteville, going through the fucking walls. That was the damn real shit.
What inspired you guys to get into wrestling together?
Just because we used to beat each other up at home. And,
Well, I got injured in my first match against Dave.
oh, yeah.
Your first match was against your
First
brother?
spot.
Tell this story.
First spot. I told it on one of the episodes that you haven't released yet. Big surprise there, Cookie. Big fucking surprise. You got some unreleased shit with me on it that you ain't gonna fucking put out. But yeah, no, what the fuck are we talking
Your
about?
first match.
Okay, yeah.
You getting injured.
Yeah, so I think it was tackle, drop down.
Finger in the bobo?
Tackle, drop down, clothesline, and I was going to do a sweet Billy Gunn flip on the clothesline, like Rikishi Billy Gunn flip out. And I remember my body contorted. Contorted? Do you say it like that?
Yes.
My body fucking twisted in air because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at the time, and I fucked up my shit. I felt like I remember that shit.
So he injured himself.
Yeah, so I figured it'd be better to just tag with Dave than get hurt in the first fucking spot. You know what I mean?
Do you think that working against your brother or working with your brother, like when you're working with your brother, you've got like an innate sense of like, you know what he's doing, he knows what you're doing at all times, sort of thing? You guys think similar?
See, there's a difference because there's brother tag teams. Like, there's a guy's named the Lynch Mob, fucking little plug. They're brothers, but they're not twins. It's different. There's times where, like, I'll think of something and then he'll randomly call me and tell me what I was thinking about.
And it'd be the same exact.
Like, he'll be like, hey, I was thinking about this. And I'll be like, dude, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, I'm not even joking.
It'll be the exact same.
In the group text, I'll say something and he'll immediately be like, dude, what the fuck? Or the same text will come through. So it's different. Like, I don't even have to say anything to him. It's a look or a feel of how he's coming towards me that I already know what he's wanting.
And now, how when you guys are going against each other, how is that a thing? Like,
I mean, there's video footage, Aaron, that you filmed, and did you use it for this episode?
No, I didn't.
Oh, we have a twin blood feud. I was the champion, of course. I turned on him. You know what I'm saying?
Big surprise.
Yeah, big surprise. I think I spit on you too. I think I four
Spit on me,
times.
kick me in the balls, man.
Yeah,
Every time.
dude, that's the way. Hey, if any wrestler,
then I feed around and take the other team's finish, which I hate, and then I lost.
okay,
I
yeah.
lost.
So for any aspiring wrestlers that wrestle the Dawson brothers, fucking Easter egg here. To take Dave Dawson out, all you got to do is spit in his face and kick him in the balls. And he'll feed right around to your finish, guys, okay?
he's like a super punch-out villain.
You
Like,
know?
there's that one little chink in his armor, and it's just nuts.
And he keeps coming.
And
But
it's my balls.
no, it's that's my chicken my armor is my balls.
My balls.
Yeah, but no, like, so growing up we fought, so being in the ring with him, it's just like I remember, like, I'm thinking I'm 11 and
Yeah, you're in the living room.
we're fighting over who's playing, Mario next.
Okay.
So I mean, it's different. Like, I can't explain it because it's a twin shit. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen The Shining. I know what twins do.
Yeah.
They kill.
Yeah, and we fucking came.
They go in.
Yeah.
They kill.
They leave.
They leave. So as twins, working together, how long have you guys technically been working together as professional wrestlers?
I was about to say the single runs didn't really, other than he had a big run for AML singles, and then other than that, like there's been a couple singles runs, but most of the time we're tagging.
So when it comes to is it easier if shit goes down between you two? If there's some heat between you two, is it easier since you guys are brothers and have to see each other at family events to get back together?
Like, are you asking like shoot, or are you talking about as a wrestler?
Yeah. So
Like what the wrestler? You want me to fucking? I thought this was a fucking shoot podcast.
This
man.
is a shoot podcast.
Yeah, why the fuck are you trying to work me with your little whisper? It's weird when you whisper when you got that molestache on your face. Yeah, he's like, it's a wrestler. It's a wrestler.
So as a wrestler, whenever me and him have differences, what are family gatherings like?
I mean,
I think the wrestler heat and the shoot heat are probably about the same because we go a day and don't talk to each other and then we're right back.
Normally the family gatherings are when we see each other after we've gotten in an argument. Look, like real shit. Like we'll get in an argument on the phone and not talk to each other for a couple days, and then I'll see them like today. Like we hated each other a couple hours ago. We've been arguing for a week.
Brother
I was
shit,
like, nah, I'm
man.
just kidding. But like, nah, it ain't nothing like that.
Is Mama Dawson trying to keep the peace between you two?
She always does, and she knows. But
Yeah, she never.
we kayfabe her.
I think it was the mutual hatred of you, Aaron, that
Yeah.
brought them back together today.
That's
and
it.
Mama Dawson.
Yes,
Yeah.
through the damn quarantine, me and Dave fucking made a vow that we would come together on this day.
So, ladies and gentlemen, $2 steak brings families together.
That's right. That's right. But you couldn't bring the damn family together for this episode. We had to bum rush in this bitch.
All right,
Your
well
new
let's
slogan.
actually talk about our matches this week. Give us a second, and we will be right back. All right, getting heat with Big Mike. Mike, you have got a classic matchup between the Hart brothers, Owen and Brett, from WrestleMania 10.
All right, WrestleMania 10, Madison Square Garden, March 20th, 1994. Brothers Divided, as it's billed in the introduction package. We get Vince McMahon and Jerry Lawler on the mic, two of my favorites.
Really? Okay.
Dude, the combination of those two, it's really good. Vince, nowadays particularly, doesn't get a lot of love from the wrestling community, but I think some of his commentary work is really just top notch. I mean, it's why he's in the ear of all of his commentators. And
Right, he knows what he's talking about.
exactly. You would hope, right?
Right, well, yeah.
The between the participants in the match and the ring announcer, the mullets are off the hook.
Phenomenal.
The coiffed mullet for the ring announcer, really flowy and really enjoyable to kind of bring you in, captivate you. The match begins. Well, I guess a little background. So I picked this match because we had watched the documentary on Owen Hart
Correct.
from Vice on Dark Side of the Ring, and this was really the match that kind of started putting Owen in the mainstream. He before this, he was always just Bret Hart's brother.
The Blue Blazer, he was always in the shadow of Bret Hart, and then this is when the Rocket became Owen Hart.
So the lead up to this match a little bit was that Owen had come out and really kind of shot on Bret a little bit, and then they tag team, like they tried to squash their brother issues, and they tag team, but then after they lost the tag team match, and then Owen just starts he just kicked Bret's leg, which was already injured in the match, and that sets off this bout. So the beginning part of it, this is like a 30-minute match. The beginning part is really just great wrestling. It's competitive, it's paced well, makes sense, it's back and forth. The whole thing is great because the whole match is because there's never too much, and so it was really interesting. Lawler starts shitting on Mrs. Hart. Now, their mother. If we actually look back, I had forgotten that you had given me a Bret Owen match until I was watching this,
Right.
and then I remembered Jerry Lawler shitting on Mrs. Hart.
Yeah, I don't know what his deal is with Miss Hart.
And like, you brought me back, and I was like, oh, I have had a match between these two because we do these matches, but then I kind of forget because my life is just so fast.
I completely forget.
And as soon as Jerry Lawler calls the Harts habitual liars, I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely have had this before. At one point, Lawler also says, I hear through the grapevine that their mother, Helen, has been in the hospital. This match could put her back there. And I was just like, wow.
Oh, Helen.
The first big move, we get this clothesline by Bret that sends Owen over the top rope. And Bret, being aggressive and just trying to end this thing, he runs back out, throws Owen back into the ring, slaps the shit out of his brother. I don't know if it's because they're brothers and because as the Dawsons have previously told us,
the Dawsons.
They grow up wrestling together, but that slap was a full-on slap. And you listen to other wrestling podcasts, especially with the wrestlers themselves, and they talk about slap spots. I would never want to get slapped in the face like this.
But when you're drunk, all you want to do is slap somebody.
I want to give somebody a chop. I'll take a chop to the chest. A slap across the face.
Can we get a Dawson chop
Not
at one point? Oh, okay.
Not today.
Okay.
Wait till.
Well, they're gone. I don't know where they're at now.
So he slaps the crap out of him. 12 minutes into the bout, we get is the first outside the ring action besides when Brett threw him back in. Which again, 12 minutes of wrestling, and it's competitive wrestling. It's back and forth. It's entertaining and it's engaging. And so that's when they go outside the ring, and all it is Owen just slamming Brett into the corner post, and he puts him back in the ring. And if you contrast this with some of the current wrestling you see, I mean, not that it was a bad match, the Moxley versus Brody Lee match at Double or Nothing, but they were outside the ring for more than half of it. And so, again, for their ability to like captivate and hold your attention inside the ropes is really just a testament to how good they are and how well they work together. After that spot, the wrestling actually it starts picking up. The pace gets a little quicker. It's the same kind of things. It's that I might not be a greenhorn, but I'm still kind of ignorant on a lot of like the names and the moves and that sort of stuff. But it's just going quicker, which is kind of nice because you're like 12 minutes in. You're not that you're getting bored, but you're like, okay, now we're getting some action. Owen gets, it's like a submission attempt, then a near fall. Brett reverses, gets his own pin attempt, but then Owen's right back out it, countering it into another submission. The first time we see someone get on top of the ropes, I actually didn't put a time, but this is well into the match. Owen goes, hits a signature pile driver. Is that what just it was? It was a pile driver?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a tombstone.
That's what it looked like. But he hits that on Brett. He goes up to the top rope, goes for a flying headbutt. Brett rolls out. Now they're both just kind of slowing it back down, so they kind of get you excited.
There's an ebb and flow.
Yeah, they bring it back. After that, Owen's kind of incapacitated. Brett finally, gets to make his comeback, starts his flurry of offense. Later into the match, Brett gets kind of thrown to the outside. Forget what exactly had happened, but he starts selling the knee again, and so it's clearly like irritating him and bothering him. It's the same knee that Owen had attacked the previous week. And then Owen, just starts feeding into it. He sees that Brett's wounded, and you go after that wounded appendage. So he's kicking it, stomping it, doing a bunch of stuff. Hits a couple of figure fours on that knee. At one point, Brett's laid up in the corner, left leg up on the rope, and Owen just punts his knee several times. Again, granted it was the underside of the knee bends, kills some of the momentum, but he was lining up like he was trying to, pin it inside the 10-yard line.
Right.
It was really good. It's clear they're trying to build Owen up, and you get again some more back and forth. Brett, after one of the firmest tosses into the corner, so he shoots Owen into the turnbuckles, and Owen runs full speed, chest first in the top turnbuckle, and again, like you could see that they're selling for each other because this match means so much. To the storyline, but also, to Owen's career, and like this is what has to get. So they're both just fucking selling everything. Looks really good. Brett goes for the leg drop after that. He shoots him into the post, but clearly Brett's knee is not where it needs to be, so it's not as crisp or as aggressive as it could have been. I'm a fan of a good bulldog spot.
Yeah.
When it fits perfectly into the flow, into the positioning, it doesn't look like they're getting into that spot to do it. Love a bulldog. I would like to see a bouncer at a bar. Tell Lince this. I want to see him bulldog somebody outside Cape Fear one day.
He's definitely thrown some people out.
I want to see him. I want to see him catch him from behind. I want to see him catch him from behind and put their face in the concrete.
Well,
I'm sure he's thought about it. We've wanted the Bulldogs.
As Lince, he would probably have to do a Neidhart, maneuver.
Because he looks
Jim the Anvil,
just like him. Also, his rugby nickname at UNCW was Bulldog.
Oh well, that's probably
I think Lince,
more of his stature than his moveset.
You and Lynch should tag team together to do the heart attack, the Heart Foundation's finisher move. Yeah,
Halloween costume.
There it is.
This year.
There it is.
Again, just going back to how great McMahon and Lawler are on the mic. Brett hits a big old top rope suplex on Owen. Goes for the pin. Owen kicks out, and this is commentary's job is to sell what's going on. And Vince says something along the lines of, "Now I have to give credit to Owen. If that didn't do the Rocket in, you have to wonder what could." And then Jerry Lawler, playing right off of that, he goes, "Bret Hart can't beat his younger brother." You can see that he senses it, and it's sinking in. And again, you're captivated.
That's a psychological thing. It's like, how is this older brother not being able to beat up the younger brother?
And it really, it's commentary's job to build that story. I mean, visually you're watching it and you can kind of sense it and create these things in your own mind. But having them layer on top of that, it really creates that kind of buy-in that you need to appreciate what you're watching. The guys are climbing up onto the post again later on. Bret is on Owen's shoulders. It looks like Owen's going to try to go for some kind of big old slam. And as he's done earlier, it looks like Bret's going to attempt to reverse it into a submission or some sort. But Bret, being injured, can't get it clearly done. So he reverses it only for Owen to just kind of land on top of his shoulders. 1, 2, 3. Owen Hart wins, goes over. And that cemented Owen Hart and his ability, his story and everything. To the crowd, and it was really, really good, and it was nice to watch. It was clean and crisp.
The dynamic between them two, and the willingness. Brett's a good older brother, and that Bret is willing to put his brother over in a situation like that, career-wise.
Well, particularly because this is the first WrestleMania without Hulk Hogan.
Right.
This is Bret Hart is on the rocket to the top. And so for him to be willing to, and this was the first match of the card.
Yeah, it was the very first match.
Which is a peak in a prime WrestleMania spot. Guys don't want to go second; they want to go first.
And the people still have their energy. They're still being able to be captivated by the matches. This is an important thing to set the tone for the rest of the WrestleMania.
Exactly, and I think it probably did. I didn't watch anything else from that WrestleMania, but you could tell the crowd was totally into it. It was good in the sense too because both at the end you could tell both men are exhausted, but they didn't beat the snot out of each other. They didn't have to do some kind of crazy extravagant finish where because later on Bret actually wrestles Yokozuna at WrestleMania 10, right? Mm-hmm. And wins the championship. So it wasn't so much that you lose the disbelief later on in the night when Bret comes back out, which was really great. I don't want to embarrass myself trying to walk through some of these pin attempts and all that sort of stuff and describe it, whatever it was. But there was probably 3 or 4 that I've never actually seen.
Right.
And I haven't watched a ton of wrestling, but I've been watching a lot lately. And so it was interesting to see that those different things. The thing I liked about it too, there was probably a dozen near falls, mm-hmm. and they weren't near falls in the sense that you see today, where they're just spamming finishers. Somebody takes a DDT or the Death Rider and then kicks out. They were just good quality near falls, and you weren't exasperated by the end where you're just kind of okay.
Right,
I popped for the first 6, but these last 3 or 4
right.
I'm kind of okay, because you don't think the match is actually going to end. Again, the pacing throughout was just great. 30-minute match. I have attention deficit disorder already. I'm busy. I'm exhausted by the end of the week. And for me to watch this thing and never stop it to see how much was left, really testament to these guys and the story they were telling and the work rate they were putting through. So I was really appreciative of that. What is this? Oh, again, right back to commentary. I forget who said it, but they said he stepped out. He jumped out of his shadow. He'll never be in it again. And that was kind of the finishing line of commentary, putting over the Owen Hart story.
And in a storytelling aspect, that was the story that they wanted to get across. They wanted to get Owen to a point where people believed him as a threat in WWF. He could beat anybody. And later on in the night, when Bret actually gets the championship, that's a real threat. His brother is a real threat to the championship.
Well, and again, it's great storytelling because Owen beat Brett that morning or the beginning of WrestleMania, and then Brett wins the championship, and it actually spawned the blood feud with which we get the cage match and all that other stuff later on that I had already reviewed. So, you can definitely tell that these two were great, and you can definitely, you can never say a bad thing about Bret Hart's work rate or his in-ring abilities. So, all in all, great match.
So let's wrap it up. Mike, tell me a little bit about social media this week. I know that we do not have an ad read, which I
no ad read. You
do.
tasked me with getting an ad read, but as we said earlier, I'm exhausted.
And shit happened this week that maybe America's not ready to be laughing about ad reads.
Yeah, my creative juices have been shot. And I blame Cookie for making us record on a Saturday.
I know.
This is my day to rest. God rests on Sunday. Mike rests on Saturday. But Instagram, we're up to 100.
Okay.
Instagram, we're up to 126 followers. Tolbert, your post of that drunk man at the beach had me rolling because I was at work on Monday.
I wish you could have been there.
I was at work on Monday, and to see that man living his best life,
dead to the world.
I was like watching his chest. I didn't see any movement.
I almost went and put my finger under his nose to see if he was breathing.
It was such a testament to Memorial Day.
Yes.
At the beach.
Yes.
Breaking out of quarantine.
Yeah.
I almost didn't believe that was actually your photo. I feel like I almost thought you Google image drunk man at the beach.
No,
that was
with hand down pants.
That's good old Fort Fisher, North Carolina.
That was one of my favorites this week. The other one was a post by myself, which was conspicuously deleted off Instagram.
Interesting.
I was exploited and at a vulnerable time.
Luckily,
it was not approved.
Luckily, so I'm not we've established I need Tolbert's help on Instagram because I'm not good at Instagram. Every time I post something on Instagram, Travis usually shits on me for screwing something up.
He did, yeah.
But this week, we had this amazing Instagram post by myself, and luckily, I made the decision to cross-post it to Twitter. And so
I noticed that. I was like,
so
damn
Tolbert,
it.
while he wasn't able to, or he was able to delete the Instagram photo, the text lives on, and it said, Tolbert is struggling with a bout of stoner's block on this week's episode. Oh, never mind. Damn it. Wrong one. Where did it go? Maybe it did delete it off the Twitter. Damn it. It did. Good job, Tolbert.
Yeah, good job, Tolbert. You ruined Christmas.
Yeah, you killed me. That just goes my whole gimmick. My whole
We'll work
shtick.
on that next Instagram game.
Anyway, it was a picture of a passed out Tolbert, shirtless, back hair and all. And I talked about his stoner block and how he just wasn't talking to his wife. He kept crying into the pillow, just mumbling to himself, I'm a spliff guy. I'm not a bong guy.
A rolling guy.
Twitter, 297 posts, all of them by Aaron this week.
Oh,
so
God.
I appreciate you. I would normally shit on myself, as I do shit on Tolbert for not posting, but I just don't have the energy. Great post by Aaron. The one was the graduate that we gave a wrestling memorabilia gift box to.
That's
Aaron,
right.
Would you like to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, so a couple months ago, it was about a month ago, there was a group on Facebook, and I got added to it because I do a lot with Brunswick County schools. And one of the dads was talking about his son graduating. He'd been through a very rough year. He had some deaths in the family, and he was just kind of bummed out that he was not having the proper graduation, send off that his son deserved. His son had put in a lot of hard work to graduate from high school, and he was kind of bummed about that. And the thing that got me, it popped up on my Facebook feed, and the one line that got me was, his interests are professional wrestling, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm reading, he got adopted. You see they post it, and somebody adopts somebody on this group, and they send him a care package. And there was a thread under, and it's like, well, I don't have any wrestling stuff. I don't know anything about wrestling. Everybody was saying wrestling things, how they did not know anything about wrestling, so they were going to go for his other interests. And I sent a personal message to the guy's dad, and I'm like, hey, we have a lot of wrestling memorabilia that we can give him. I just want to make him feel special, and especially if he's a big wrestling fan, I'm going to give him some cool wrestling stuff. So I made him up a little box of things. I didn't mail it to him because, as you guys know, I'm terrible at mailing things. But I knew that he was going to be at the ceremony this week.
You knew he was going to graduate.
I knew he was going to graduate, and I had been tasked to film these ceremonies. So throughout the day, I was like, hey, do you know when this guy's going to come across the stage? We looked, we cross-referenced, and we're like, all right, so at this time, he's going to come across the stage. So I met the guy's dad, and I said, hey, I've got this box of stuff. I'm going to give it to him. We opened it up there together. I took a picture of it. He was so excited to have somebody give him a gift.
Taz action figure.
A Taz action figure, Jay Lethal action figure, a bunch of DVDs.
Semi-pornographic flag.
A flag of Gail Kim. That one was just trying to get it out of my house. I didn't want any potential, relationships in the future to be like, why do you have a Gail Kim flag? Anyways, the kid was super excited, and it was just a special moment for me to be able to see the excitement on this kid's face when he was able to get something that he actually wanted. So that was that.
And I think we're going to continue to, with the way the world is currently between coronavirus and racist cops murdering people, I think we need to continue this trend of creating just good, positive, funny content.
Yeah.
And so with that, Aaron, I need you to stop adding people when you create good quality content, because when you at somebody, nobody sees it.
Nobody sees it.
Unless somebody's distinctively searching for that person's at, they're not going to see it. So Aaron had posted this amazing GIF of Sting airballing a basketball from the All NWA Stars basketball charity event. So Aaron, please just stop adding people. Just send it to the ether. Send it to the ether, and if it gets picked up, it's great. But we're getting a couple hundred engagements and a couple dozen impressions on everything we post, except when you at Sting, because Sting has 6 tweets, I think.
Yeah, Sting's not a big Twitter man.
Yeah, maybe it's because he's a baby boomer.
Don't talk about Sting that way.
You're saying like it's a bad thing. I'm just implying that he doesn't know how to use technology.
He's hip.
All right, so that would be the
and with that, there will be no shit list again this week and no ad read. I'm sorry, Dad.
Hey, the Dawsons were here, so your dad will be thoroughly.
Yeah,
I got shitted on this week.
My dad enjoys the Dawsons and also my creative abilities, but I'm zapped.
I understand. Time for the strong style. Cookie, you have got dim boys from Delaware.
From somewhere in Delaware.
Yeah, from the middle of nowhere.
The bumfuck nowhere. Anyway. Aaron, have you...
Oh, I'm sorry. What were you going to say? I was going to say Delaware, and you think of dim boys, right? You're talking about the Briscoes. I didn't know there were rednecks in Delaware.
So my roommate is from Delaware.
Really?
So, yeah, he's from Delaware. That's why I went to Delaware and got lost there, blah, blah, blah. You may hear about that story later. But anyway, yeah, he tells me there are rednecks, like the southern part of Delaware is just straight rednecks.
So were you watching this with him and you're showing him the stuff and you're taking notes? You're like, so tell me all you know about Delaware.
Yeah, I was like, dude, like he was like, these are your people. He was like, no, that's another type of people. He said, I'll give him like the Pennsylvania somewhere or something like that.
Yeah, like Delaware's kind of northeast, and it's kind of near New York, and you would think that maybe like in the northeast, that whole area, it's you think uppity and like.
Well, Aaron, you also sent out a video of these two, a promo that they shot. Where he is lifting 15 pounds of chicken shit.
That's right.
In 5-gallon buckets.
That's right.
So that's something I've never seen before. Working in God's gym.
God's gym.
Yeah.
Doing pull-ups on the nice oak tree out back and
And don't forget about the protein that they got to have after their workout.
Now,
it's a raw eggshell.
Describe this and describe your reaction to seeing what.
Well, they were discussing, their diet and all that sort of thing, and then I think they talked about how eggs, or they needed protein, so they grab eggs out of a carton and literally just throw them in their mouth and start chewing on raw eggs, shell and all, goo and all.
Periodically spitting
I gagged.
it out.
And spitting just yolk.
Straight yolk.
Yeah. And like the one guy tries to start cutting his promo, but he realizes he can't because he's got a mouthful of eggs.
I think that was Jay Briscoe,
So he
yeah.
like hits like a slobbery spit out and then tries to continue.
You know those eggs are fresh too. They raise them eggs.
Oh yeah, fresh out of
It's
Lowe's
like
food.
Varnum shrimp. You should put a whole Varnum shrimp in your mouth, raw.
Yeah.
Just chew it.
I need protein.
Well, iodine.
I'm giving you guys the visual of what I had to dealt with, and one of them is missing his 2 front teeth.
That would be be Mark. Yeah,
Gotta be
like
Mark.
Summer teeth.
Summer teeth.
Summer teeth. Some are there, some are not.
I get it. Oh, there we go.
That's a nice dad
That's
joke.
a way
man.
homer.
I like
You only
that.
get it on
I
the
like
way
that
home.
dad joke. All right, it's once in a lifetime. It's the Briscoe brothers, and they're gonna wrestle to toughen each other up because they just lost their match to Rocky and Bullwinkle. Or at least that's what I think it was.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was.
I don't remember who it was. Doesn't matter. Some up and coming tag team. Something and Doy. What's the name? Anyway, these two men are coming from God's gym. So let's start this godly countdown.
Cookies top 4. Number 1.
Do the DDT spots, man. I see them a lot today, particularly Sammy Guevara does that a lot with that twist of fate where he just like uses the crown of his head.
Did you just say Sammy Guevara?
Yeah, dude.
Guevara.
He's the self-proclaimed Spanish god.
on the end.
Gotta give it a little flair.
It's Cookie's new favorite. I can't say it.
Cookie's a sex god now.
Is he a twink?
No.
I knew it.
Cookie's the bear.
I knew it was.
He likes the twinks though.
Anyway, is when they use the crown of their head to take the bump. I mean, wrestlers today are basically like spiking themselves into the mat, and like Mark did that, and I just cringed
Dude,
every
the
time.
way Mark took it, there was like such a velocity to it, and like I couldn't believe how like awesome it looked. And Mark, you know, like Mark wants his brother to look good. That was
it was really good. He really, I mean, it was great. And this is 2007, right?
Yeah.
This is very early.
Yes.
Ring of Honor.
This was before Ring of Honor actually got their HD net deal. So this was kind of like, this was right after the Samoa Joe CM Punk era of Ring of Honor, and right in between that, and then they finally got on major television distribution.
Yeah.
And then that was another era, and then they got bought by Sinclair. So this is like a kind of a limbo period in Ring of Honor.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Now, it looks like they're like wrestling on a basketball court.
Yeah,
of some sort.
It's a very small arena.
It was,
I think
okay.
it was in Europe. I think it was. They said that it was in Belfast.
Really?
Yeah,
oh, it was in Europe. Yeah,
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Number 2.
We'll continue. One of my favorite parts of this match is when Mark starts that head of steam and he just starts yelling. You. That's hillbilly for woo. Did you know that? Did you know that, Tolbert?
I did.
Aaron.
That's getting
Can we
kind of
cut
close
this
to a rebel yo.
No. I remember I went to UNC Pembroke. I know how Lumbee. That's Lumbee. Yeah.
That's also a regional thing around these parts as
Yeah,
well. I hear that a lot.
Apparently.
I hear that a lot.
You're gonna start a gang war outside
downtown
in
Wilmington
Sunset
on
Park.
Friday night. That's all you hear, dude. Is pipes and
All my Locklear friends are like, their ears are peeking up right there. They're like, what?
Oh, wait a minute.
Is Aaron in distress?
Anyway, he hits a running knee strike. Yoo! Springboard kick. Yoo! Then he hits the springboard corkscrew, and again, you get a yoo! These boys, they're just having fun. That's what it is. Just two brothers just going at it.
Beating the shit out of each other.
Beating the fucking shit out of each other.
And-
It was a
and-
30-minute match that you gave me.
Yeah, and you know what, man? I just like Mike's match. It's one of those matches that I was captivated the entire time because I'm
Absolutely.
like, God damn, these guys are really going at it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Number 3.
I wish Ring of Honor had replay or like more than 2 cameras filming, because that ref spot where Mark jumps off his back to the outside, that one made me pop, because when they pan to the Briscoes, I realized there's no mat.
No mat.
It's just hardwood floor, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how he took it, but I know it was bad. It was so bad. Oh my God. Next
Number
one.
4.
Thank you, Briscoes. That was awesome. You sick fucks. I love all these chants, but damn, that was a good match and a great ending to it. It wasn't too complex. Jay hit your move. The Jay Driller. Mark hits his move, the cutthroat, whatever. And they both drop each other on their heads. Count out finish. It's a draw. They shake hands. It's brotherly love.
And brotherly love.
They toughened each other up. That's all it was.
They wanted, and I think that's such a cool story. It's like they were disappointed in themselves, and they took it upon themselves to have a match against each other to toughen themselves back up for another run at that at that belt.
Exactly.
So, did you like it?
I did. I love this match, man. I love this. And with my honorable mentions, I'll bring the attention to Mike a little bit. Mike, what's your least favorite move to see performed by Finn Balor?
Oh, was it coup de grace?
The coup de grace, yeah. Because
Yeah, he
people will
looks like
potentially pop their knees.
Homeboy hit that, and I thought he was gonna blow his knee out.
Oh my god!
Was that what you were? Because before we started recording today, you're like, I've got some thoughts on that match.
No, I wanted to get my summer teeth dad joke in.
Oh, that was your only thought? That was your only thought?
He had it.
Well, I had some other thoughts, but they conflict with Cookie's opinions.
You didn't like it.
The first half was a little.
It was a little.
I skipped to like 20 minutes in, and it was a lot better.
Oh, okay. I thought that like
And the rev spot where they went on the floor was
phenomenal.
sickening,
Sick.
but
Yeah.
it was great.
Anyway, I'm sorry. The coup de grace, for people who don't know, is a high risk move from the top rope where you basically, do a double foot stomp onto a person's chest. Well, they're slick, and I'm always worried that they're gonna slip or hyperextend the knee or tear an ACL or something.
I had no opinions on it until the SmackDown vs. Raw thing, and Finn hits it on a guy with a T-shirt on, and he slips.
Oh,
and
God. That was Survivor Series 2 years ago,
it was
and both of
gross.
us were like,
God. Anyway, the other thing, I hate the little 12-year-old boy on commentary. Whoever the hell that is
It
has the most
sounded like-
whiny voice.
sounded like a young Aaron Varnum for Midnight Mayhem. I always was told. I look at the YouTube comments. They're like, does this commentator have a deviated septum?
If you didn't bring that up, I was about to bring that up.
Yeah, well, I do. I do have a deviated septum. So fuck you and your fucking YouTube comments, you troll. Fuck you.
Meanwhile, that's what we're doing now on Twitter.
Sorry. I know this is a time in America, a pivotal point in America that we need to bring people together. We need to be brought together. I'm bringing together wrestling fans to say fuck you to YouTube and all their fucking commenters. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up, Cookie.
Oh, okay. Continue with that same commentator. Oh man, I might have to go visit that motherfucker, Aaron. You want to know why? I got to explain to him the difference between a Stone Cold Stunner
That's right.
and a goddamn chin breaker.
That's right.
What Jay did was a goddamn Stone Cold Stunner. Am I right, Tolbert?
Yeah.
See, goddamn right. 316, hell yeah. Anyway, the most brotherly moment. One of them, I think it was Mark, had him in the chokehold. And he's like, choke, ref, choke.
Oh, I love that.
Choke, ref, choke. And
And
Jay replies, nah, boy, there ain't no choke.
I love that because it was one of those moments, and you're like, that's definitely a choke. And you can see Mark choking. It's a choke. That's not a choke, Mom. Mom, that's not a choke. I'm not choking him.
I'll show you a choke.
Oh, man. Anyway, the somersault over the top rope, the Toconhito, Vito, Gelato, whatever the fuck it's called. Mark would have snapped his leg on those steps.
Oh,
Did you guys see that spot?
yeah, it looked
Like the
bad.
steps were really close to the ring. So
Yeah.
if he overshot and over-rotated a little bit.
And the thing is, the arena was dark.
The whole thing was narrow, though.
It was
There
so
very
dark.
little space.
And with the lighting, I don't think that you could see kind of a lot of the. When your trajectory, trying to change your trajectory in the middle
I
of
don't
the
think
air,
so.
it's like, ooh, oh, well, those just came out of nowhere.
Oh my god! But there were so many great moves in this match. I mean, there was a super gourd buster from the top rope where Mark basically smacks his head against the ring.
Yeah.
There was so many springboards and everything like that, and it's just a spectacle to see. I can't talk about every single spot, but it was a beautiful match. I'm gonna give it 5 cookies.
Really? Okay.
100%. I was entertained for 31 minutes,
So
especially for the end and the draw.
I really enjoyed the match. I would not give it 5 cookies. I would give it 5. Was that 5? I was trying to count.
For the
You're actually the wrestling bell is actually ringing when you do that. It's picking up the frequency and vibrating.
My neon sign is gonna crack and.
It is. Oh my gosh, man. Anyway, but I loved it for the brotherly aspect of it, man. I mean, and even if those punk ass Dawsons were still here, it'd be just them fighting or bickering amongst each other. But
they
whatever.
had your back, Cookie. You gonna shoot on them like that?
I don't shoot on like that.
Yeah, I don't understand your
You
relationship.
don't remember
with the
me getting
Dawsons.
slammed in
Yeah.
quarantine? I still have a gripe.
I don't understand the relationship. It's a love-hate
It
relationship.
is a
with
love-hate
Cookie.
relationship because I got slammed in quarantine. I'm not supposed to get slammed, all right?
They will defend Cookie, and then Cookie will talk shit about the Dawsons.
I'm turning on Zane before he turns on me. Don't you understand that?
I get it. I get it now.
You're gonna
Please.
regret that, Cookie. I'm just saying.
I do not think I will.
All right, for the high spot, we have got Matt Hardy against Jeff Hardy. Now, it's not just one of their matches that they had at WrestleMania. This is a match that they had for TNA. Now tell me a little bit about this match, Tolbert.
Well, I didn't watch much TNA at this time period.
And nobody did.
Yeah, but this is obviously both the brothers are signed to TNA, and they have a backyard down at home brother versus brother match.
That's right.
In Cameron, North Carolina.
That's right. A little close to Fayetteville.
Very close. Like I think I've mentioned before, we used to pass their compound on road trips and things like that. You would see the dirt bike track or the motocross track, and we knew that's where they lived. And always been a huge
It's an
fan.
amazing compound.
It's crazy.
They do a lot of YouTube videos and stuff, and they're how they've done well for themselves, and they have nice places to retire with their
I was
family.
curious, like, was that family property or was that stuff they bought after they got?
A little bit of both. I think it
so.
started off as family property.
In that area, there's a lot of family properties in that area. There's a lot of big farms and ranches and things like that. But anyway, so we got some Impact action, and this is I've seen Matt's new stuff with AEW. That character he portrays,
Broken Matt Hardy.
Yes, I did not know this came from the Impact days.
Okay.
I thought this was a relatively new thing. It wasn't. So he's still got the old world, character going, and he's celebrating his son's first birthday with his very attractive wife.
Yes, Reeve, yeah.
And they have a wrestling ring all set up, and they're in his little home compound, and he is pumped. He's ready to go, and he is on a mission to delete the final deletion of his younger brother Nero, which would be Jeff Hardy.
That's right.
And this is the Nero character at the time. So the task has been laid before him. He must take out his little brother, and he goes about that with his drones. He sends his drones after his brother Jeff. Now, probably not too far from his property, you have Jeff Hardy just minding his own business, working on his yard, and
Jeff Hardy,
I
brother.
can appreciate the zen and art of lawn maintenance as your regional groundskeeper. So, and he's going to town, man. He's got the tribal in his front yard. It's manicured. It's impressive.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's impressive. I had to take him hours. He a hard day at work manicuring his lawn. He just wants to go inside and sit down and play his guitar.
Probably threw his back out while mowing the lawn.
It's not easy. It's not easy. Well, he gets a surprise visitor, just like we have today. What's the drone's name? Vanguard. Vanguard 1 pays a little visit to Mr. Jeff. Along with his pals. So he gets attacked by a swarm of tiny drones, which he starts to bash away at with his guitar inside his house. It's hilarious. It's a great scene. His brother jumps on the lawnmower and just ruins his mow job. And the confrontation.
That's the biggest heel move of the entire match.
I think he needs to get his lawnmower checked because he was like spewing dark smoke out of that thing.
Yeah.
I think he's burning a little oil.
Yeah. Also, they're Husqvarna guys. So,
which we know those suck.
Husqvarna.
Anyway, so I guess you could say the match starts. They're after each other. The challenge has been laid down for the final deletion of Brother Nero. Well, he's not going to take this line down. He's like, "Hey, brother, you're not going to fuck with me like this, So he jumps on his dirt bike and goes after him. And I think it's one of the funniest scenes when he's on his dirt bike and he swats away 2 little drones. It's hilarious. And goes after his brother. Well, we get to a setup where we have a ring in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the woods. We've got lights. We've got tiki torches. It's kind of eerie, right?
Right, and we don't want any mosquitoes out there because they're notorious.
Yes,
in that portion of North Carolina,
especially in these parts. So we have the battleground set. Matt's assistant, Sir Benjamin, I guess, had prepared the field for maximum battle earlier in the afternoon, and that's where we arrive. So the boys go at it. We see some kind of hardcore spots. We've got chairs. We've got some kind of dressing shields with rocks on it. We've got Singapore canes. We've got ladders. Of course, the Hardys are involved. There's going to be ladders. And we see some pretty good back and forth, especially for the style of match that it is. There's no crowd. They're out in the middle of nowhere. Very cinematic. We get to a ladder spot where we see a swanton out of a tree, and it looked painful because Jeff takes it right on the back.
Yes.
Well, that wasn't like a WWE ladder. That was
That was a real one.
that was a Lowe's home improvement ladder.
But yeah, so we get a lot of back and forth, and
Dear God.
Hey, it's Cookie.
I'm back.
Cookie's back.
But good God, that spot I just watched this.
Yeah, it's brutal.
It is.
And in this chaos, someone stocked fireworks in the barrage of weapons.
That is close to the South Carolina line.
I was going to say,
very
they
close.
definitely got those at south of the border.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
just go right across to Dillon, South Carolina. You get you some nice fireworks out of this.
These were the premium Roman candles.
They
These
were-
were
phenomenal.
I
gotta find these.
Yeah, those are not easy to find, and I had because I had a cheap Roman candle blow up in my hand once.
Yeah, those are illegal in North Carolina. So you know that with that you have to go to Dillon, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Go see El Pedro.
So Matt Hardy lights a giant Roman candle. And he's like, "Hey, brother Nero, I'm taking you out." And all he's got to protect himself is a trash can lid. And he absolutely blasts him with some pyrotechnics. It's a great visual. They get some actual drone shots as well
Yeah,
of the
phenomenal.
fireworks. Just really great visual. He thinks that he just blasted his brother. You think that's over with. Match is over, man. I just deleted brother Nero. Not the case.
Not the case at all.
Jeff comes right back at him with some fireworks of his own and chases him down to what leads to probably the best scene.
Yeah, I love Matt Hardy's run. It's like a scurry.
Yes, yeah. And
He's scurrying away from his brother.
he chases him down across the property, blasting him with Roman candles. He spots a dilapidated boat.
Yeah.
And he jumps behind it to shield him for the pyro, which leads us to a lake spot. We get a little wrestling in the lake. We think this is going to be the end because Matt drowns his brother in the lake. I don't think he wanted it to end like this, but he did what he had to do.
Later known as the Lake of Reincarnation, I believe.
Yes,
I think that's
because Nero arises. A masked Nero arises from the water, goes after his brother. How he did the costume change that fast, I don't know. Some kind of witchcraft, some kind of Cameron witchcraft.
burn him.
Yeah, back there in them woods. Goes after his brother. And Matt's assistant, Mr. Benjamin, Sir Benjamin,
Right.
Senor Benjamin,
Senor
I should
Benjamin,
say. Tases Jeff Hardy, tases brother Nero. At that point, he does some kind of smoke bomb ninja move, gets out of the way. We see him come back into the picture. Matt gets the advantage, takes the pin. He says, "Hey, let's rip this mask off." It's not Jeff.
Who is it?
It's Sir Benjamin.
Oh my!
Yeah, I don't know.
More
like I
trickery.
said, some more trickery, some Cameron witchcraft. At this point, Jeff takes advantage of the situation, of the distraction, goes after his brother, but Matt has other plans. He's, like I said, prepared the field for maximum battle. Which then point he ignites his symbol. And you got to watch what you burn back in the woods. I'm just saying they could.
There's a lot of symbols being burned in near that area of North. I don't know if it's the Hardy Boys symbol, but it's something.
Yeah. Anyway, we see a high spot off
Sorry,
the top
Cookie.
of the burning. I was just saying, hey boys, you might want to uncross it a little bit before you burn it in the backwoods of Fayetteville.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we see a high spot off of the symbol. Of course, it's Matt's turn to almost kill himself. He pulls it off, gets the pin, and defeats his brother, and sends him probably next door to the property. But
To the bath of ice.
yeah, exactly. I thought this was phenomenal.
Yeah, it's very
all
well
the
made.
comments on YouTube and online. Everyone loves this. A lot of people compare it and say they came up with this idea that we saw the Boneyard match and everything this past WrestleMania.
One of the first cinematic wrestling matches.
And now we're seeing this in AEW, where Matt has kind of brought this creativity and stuff like that to AEW to do some more cinematic things, which I guess worked out in these times. It kind of fell upon us.
Well, tell me what kind of haiku? What coup of high
There's
do you
so
have?
many coups that can come of this. Matt's feeling just fine. That's an Illumicraft? Dilapidated.
Oh, wait, is dilapidated? Is that five? Dilapidated.
That's a big word, man.
You got it. You
a
can't
big
really fit
word.
it in much else.
Yeah, good match though.
Good match?
Entertaining.
You
it
were-
was
you were
very
entertained.
entertaining while I was drinking my coffee this morning.
Oh,
and icing my back.
Well, thank you for listening to $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast. Boys, We've had it all today. We had a run-in. From the Dawson brothers, the most evil duo in all of professional wrestling, came here, threatened my life, and called me basically a Freddy Krueger. So we have that. So thank you for listening to $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast. We will...
Whoa.
You got deleted, homie.
I got deleted from the podcast?
Delete it.
Delete.